Before we get into it, what you're about to watch is the censored version of this episode. Increasingly, the algorithm is becoming more and more hostile to the type of content I want to deliver. This is a fully independent channel which is contending with the real-world issues. If you'd like to support me and keep these talks alive, please head over to the Substack, where here and only here you'll find the full uncensored video, along with live Q&As, a chance to speak to some of the biggest voices in this space, and building a community of like-minded people. I'll leave a link in the description. Please be sure to check it out. Alternatively, if you do want to watch the whole episode for free, you can find the censored version on Spotify. If you do watch it here, all I'd ask is please be sure to follow. Please be sure to give it a 5-star review. This really, really helps with the algorithm. Anyways, enough from me. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
This is the other thing people overly get caught up in, is this whole left-right thing. It isn't real. There is a group of people at the top who run the show, and everything else is downstream from that. If you remove this group of people who are running the show and then decide we're going to do things differently, things will be different. It's not rocket science. And everyone who's ever had a revolutionary mindset knows that. You remove the people who control the instruments of power, which is media, banking, education, all these different things. And it really does matter. That's why the CEO of a company gets paid the big bucks, because they're the boss. And I mean, there's plenty of cleaners in a company, and I'm not disparaging people who are cleaners, but you only have one CEO, and that's why they're where they are. Life is a pyramidal structure. It's never really changed from that. You have this pyramid where you have people prop each other up. Now, everyone is reliant on one another. You can't be the pharaoh at the top unless you've got the people at the bottom doing the hard work. But the problem is, though, the people right in the top two sections, they've declared war on the people at the bottom, and that never ends well.
Yeah, not wrong. And I do have hope for the future, but yes, the right and left, and a phrase that I've always said, and this is 100% from me. Restore Britain is the state approved BNP.
Yeah, I mean, very true. You're a brave man for noticing that as well, because I've certainly been getting a lot of stick for pointing this out about Restore.
This is the thing, and do you mind if we talk about the civil war going on a bit?
Let's do it.
Yeah, because rightly so, this is like the stakes have never really been higher for those who are kind of aware of what's going on, and a lot of people who are supporting Rupert, I think they are legit. I don't think they're infiltrators.
No,
I'm still kind of on the fence with all of this, but yeah, what are your thoughts on Restore?
Well, it's just, I mean, on every level, it's just a load of garbage. And I don't understand why so many people are getting caught up in it and so excited. Rupert Lowe is establishment through and through. He was Deutsche Bank, City of London. He was up until recently running a business as a co-director alongside Ashkata Murthy, who is Rishi Sunak's wife. And he is not this radical. And then people will say, well, we've finally got someone talking about the death penalty, or they're talking about getting rid of millions of people. Norman Tebbit, what age are you, Louis? What age are you?
32.
You're 32. You know who Norman Tebbit is? Do you know who he is?
Nah, not quite.
So Norman Tebbit was in the Thatcher government, and I remember Norman Tebbit. He was just this right-wing Tory, and there was a section in the Tory party called the Monday Club, and they were always talking about that. We're going to repatriate all the foreigners. We're going to bring back the death penalty. That's all this is. It is rehashed conservatism,
hot air,
wrapped up as something else. And there is nothing behind it. And then again, you've got Elon Musk supporting Rupert Lowe, like the world's richest man, who's clearly totally up to his eyeballs. You know, he was forced to take the trip to Auschwitz. He was forced to take the trip to the October 7th sites. He is a key part of the system, and he is fully supporting Rupert Lowe. So I just wish people would be honest with it. which is this is clearly some form of internal regime argument taking place where they don't seem to like Nigel Farage and they would rather have someone maybe slightly further to the right than Nigel Farage. But the other thing people aren't really getting their head around is the British public aren't like that. And like, we clearly have our views, but the wider British public, you know, they still want to vote Tory. They like Nigel. Like, I think it's all pathetic the way these reform rallies are. They're like a Blackpool show, but people love that. And Nigel is about, in my opinion, as far as you're going to get. And I think we've restored.
Still a shill. Still. Right.
Totally. But it is the acceptable face of shill. And my concern is with Lowe. I have this theory that you have competing factions within. You have left wings, which is open borders, like let's kind of be a wee bit nicer to the Palestinians, and then you've got far right, which is Trump, which is Marine Le Pen, which is the AFD, which is now Rupert Lowe. And at the end of the day, if you're a nationalist or you are someone who believes in individual sovereignty and national sovereignty, you're never going to get that when you're part of this system. When Trump was elected, he was going to deport millions. Look at what they did. Look at how in Minnesota they got a wee bit of stick and they just moved ICE out. Yet a few weeks later, he starts a bombing campaign on Iran. So a bit of bad press about removing some illegals. Oh, we better stop that. But bad press about, you know, killing the Ayatollah and his granddaughter. No problem. We can handle that. So again, who's really in charge?
Yeah, exactly. And there was also that remigration summit, you know, all these influencers, you know, as you're far aware. And, you know, everyone can agree on that, you know, like we're all there, remigration, but it's the same people that brought them here that are now going to tell you they're taking them all away. Is that not? Do you not understand how psychotic that is? Because the whole remigration movement again is affiliated. It is, because a lot of them are angry at these pro-Palestinian demonstrations, and the thing is, there's not going to be mass remigration. And it's pipe dreams. And it must be the easiest thing in the world to come online and say, we're going to deport millions. We're going to everyone cheers. Well, how are you going to do that? And then they'll say, well, if we put our mind to it, there's no obstacle. No, you can't, because the system will not let you do that. The system is a pyramid scheme that constantly requires new immigrants to come in. And all they're doing is they're just switching, like maybe sub-Saharan immigrants. They're just going to bring in Infinity Indians. Yeah, exactly. So that's my understanding of it. It's the biggest obstacle. I mean, along with the remigration and all that stuff, but the biggest obstacle is this capitalist system.
Yes.
That will just constantly demand more and more immigrants, more cheap labor. So,
correct.
And you know, with Elon Musk too, I think the biggest tell was, you know, he owns Twitter and he just gets rid of all censorship. 90% of his investors pulled out, right? And the only requirement they needed was, just a little bit of censorship, just this one little group. We want you to censor that. Other than that, you know, and he did that. Sure enough, all the investors came in. I see him as bought and paid for. There's so many people on the right who see Elon as this super based guy, and
which he isn't.
Anyone who's got that much money, you know, you are probably the most bought, if anything.
But this is again where the average person, like they don't live in the real world. Let's just say your average salary, you're earning 35, 40K a year, right? Elon Musk, like, do you know how little that is to Elon Musk? Like, I mean, Elon Musk would drop that in a bus, and well, if he was on a bus, and he wouldn't even care about it. Like, you are not like these people. They do not think like you. They do not act like you. And I mean, there's a wider conversation to even be had. I mean, is Elon Musk really the driving force behind these companies? I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla hardly makes any money, yet it's the most valued company in the world. It's just garbage. It's not real. And then if you look at all these front men, like Facebook, Bill Gates, I don't believe these guys just set that business up in a garage somewhere. I just don't believe that for a second. And did it all themselves. A lot of the time, especially Facebook, there was a DARPA program that was similar to that. And then they push these things. And they are clearly there to perform very important roles. And yeah, Musk is just not to be trusted. Simple as that. Yeah. And neither is anyone that Elon Musk is pushing, because Elon Musk loves Tommy Robinson as well. Like, total subversive. Total Zio shell. Musk loves him. And everything Musk gets involved in. The average person in Britain doesn't like Musk either. Like, that's the kind of point I was making earlier. If you said to most people about Musk and JD Vance, they won't like them. And rightly so, they probably don't like the fact that there's foreigners getting involved in British politics. But again, the thing is, they're allowed to hate them because they're white foreigners, but they won't be angry about the other foreigners that are in the country. So it's very, very interesting, the way it breaks down. But you can't trust these people at all. No. You don't get to that level unless you're a made man in the mafia.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. Or they have so much blackmail on you that it's just a done deal. This guy's not going to flip. I mean, yeah, look how Trump was acting around all the Epstein files, right? Saying he would rather go to war than these things get released. And, you know, the thing is, too, if he was so based, there are more than enough of these, like, grassroots projects that he could just invest in that and, like, it's a done deal. You know, if he invested in someone like Eric Orwell, Return to the Land, that's pretty much secured everything we needed. That's it. If he just took care of the legal fund, like, okay, done deal. If we had our own little bunkers in the UK, you know, it's kind of like, and he's got the funds to do it. So, you know. Well,
I mean, this is the other thing you have to remember as well about all these influencers on X. I'm sure you know yourself, trying to set up a YouTube channel, how hard it is. And there's basically, there's no money in this. But if you're a good boy and you play the game and you just pull your punches at certain times, there's loads of money out there. There's plenty of money. And this is the other thing you have to remember about that money. You don't need to pay pro-Israel shills. I mean, they do it for free. So what they've done strategically is they have invested money in people who could have become a foe against them, who would oppose their power structure. But what that kind, it's like a Faustian bargain where they're saying, look, you can criticize foreigners all day. You can criticize woke. You can criticize left-wing Jews. You can criticize left-wing Zionism. But you can't overly come out and criticize what we're doing in Gaza. And the one you'll see is the likes of Connor Tomlinson and Carol Benjamin will do this. And it's very subtle as, well, like when Connor Tomlinson was arguing with Danny Finkelstein, the guy that was interviewed Fuentes, he said, you have your own ethno-state. We're just asking that we're allowed our own ethno-state as well. So that is a pro-Zionist point. And the thing is, most people would hear that and they'd say, oh yeah, that's fair enough. Well, they've got their country. Why can't we have ours? No, you're not allowed your country because they have theirs. And they will never allow you to have your country because your country could become a threat against them. And they will always do what they need to do to try and subvert you. So don't ever think this is a mutual relationship. Don't ever think that you're negotiating with them at their level, because you're not at their level and they will bully you ruthlessly if you try and think you can do a deal with them.
Yeah, this is it. And if you do cross them, it seems like there is a just never-ending amount of humiliation rituals of which you've got to do. You've got to concede, you know, and you'll never get put in their good graces.
No, well, but this is what you have to realize as well. For guys like us, we can kind of just do our own thing because we're outside the city walls. Their pets are very important to them. So people that they've invested time and money into, they will make sure they are kept on a very, very, very short leash. Because if they ever do start speaking out or doing anything, they will be it's a bit like if you're at a walk with your dog and another dog starts barking. Well, what does that have to do with you? Like, you're only interested in your dog. So think about all these Zio shells. They're on that leash. They're being held back and they're being told what to say and do. And if they do misbehave, well, they've got shock collars on and they'll be ready to feel it.
Yeah. I mean,
no more trips to Porto and talking about remigration and, you know, trying to sniff Eva Vlardingbroek's hair.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm a creator, but because I know the algorithms, like I just look at accounts and I'm like, oh, they're sure. Oh, yeah, they're getting paid off. And it's really, really clear. I mean, Robinson is the obvious one, but it's also like, you know, like, do you think the Qatar money, do you think that's all just like, it's the same?
No, I think that's real as well. And this is also a problem. There is, I mean, clearly, look, the most of the money comes to support Jewish Zionist interests. That's the big one because they know the score. But Qatar money is also real. Russian money is also real as well.
Right.
Chinese
as well, yeah.
Chinese money as well. Yeah. It is also real. And there are a lot of organizations and groups that either advertently or inadvertently are being paid by China or Russia. And that is unacceptable. Like well, okay. It is acceptable if you are going to be open and honest about it. But if you're not, and you're going to try and pretend it's not a deal, then it's not acceptable. No one's just going to hand you hundreds of thousands of pounds without some strings attached to it. World doesn't work like that. And you have to be very skeptical of anyone who is in pay of NGOs or foreign governments or foreign organizations. Because again, are they speaking organically? Or are they sovereign? Are they sovereign in what they can and cannot say or do? Because you will not bite off the hand that feeds you. And I think that is a serious problem is foreign money. Like Candace Owens was over in Russia and even Robinson was there in Russia as well with Errol Musk. And
oh yeah, wow.
It's funny how people go to Russia and they get arrested and stuff like that, whereas he gets a free pass to go to Russia and visit these conferences and nothing happens to him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just think that from my analysis of it is you need to build, if you're going to be a dissident, you have to build grassroots networks. You have to have people that you trust that support you. I think what people do is they kid themselves on. They'll say, well, I'm going to take the money, but I'm going to maintain my integrity. You never maintain your integrity. Yeah. And it is as simple as that. You either have your integrity or you don't. And when you see all these polished conferences with all these things, if something's too good to be true, it usually is. And that's my point about Restore Britain. It's just too good to be true. We're going to deport millions. We're going to execute paedophiles. We're going to allow people their guns back. It's telling you what you want to hear, and you not realizing that they are like I use this analogy. I don't know if you've heard it on my show. It's like the strip club analogy. Like if you go into a strip club and this gorgeous 5'9", 10 Ukrainian woman with a voluptuous figure comes over and starts stroking your face, and she's like, I've been waiting for a guy like you to come in the club, and you're the only one that understands me. And do you honestly believe that she really thinks that about you?
I mean, she definitely meant it when she was talking to me, but everyone else, no, I agree.
But everyone else, well, there you go, yeah. There you go. But that's what this is. I don't know whether it's it's a Scottish thing, but we're a wee bit more it's just a bit more, all right, okay then.
See it for what it is, yeah.
Yeah. And do you know what I don't like about it? The people's worry about their nation and about their families is being abused. They're being bullied almost. The people know they're vulnerable. And when someone's vulnerable, people can come along and they can give you easy solutions. There is no easy solution. Like, that's the other thing people always say to me. Well, what's your solution? Yeah, I'm just going to stick it down on X. This is decades of subversion and problems. Huge amounts of money spent. This thing isn't just going to ravel overnight. But what I say to people is, if a pendulum swings one way, doesn't matter, that force will always swing it back. And there's nothing else that you can do. And we just need to be waiting for that to happen and ready for the opportunity to present itself where we maybe can do something.
So if you've made it this far, first of all, thanks very much. If you're watching on YouTube, please remember to comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching on Spotify, please be sure to give it a 5-star review. The full uncensored version of this episode can be found on Substack and Substack alone. Both YouTube and Spotify require censorship. However, Substack doesn't. With one YouTube already taken away, it's only a matter of time before it happens again. On top of that, with the Substack, we'll be doing live Q&As, talks with some of the biggest voices in this space, and a chance for you to ask the questions you want answering. Head over to Substack now for only £5 a month. I'll leave a link for this in the bio below. Cancel anytime. Thanks for watching this week's episode, and I hope to see you next time. All the best.